Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the Action Creature episode adventure of... Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the Action Creature episode of First Prize Films, the buffest podcast where we each select a genre-specific movie separated by at least a decade and pit them against each other to find out which film wins the coveted title of First Prize. Dave, what does that mean for us?
Yeah, so it's like socks with sandals. What are we even doing here?
Oh.
Today we are fighting for our lives with these Action Creature films.
We are.
I made Blake watch Deep Blue Sea, a movie about one doctor's resolve to eliminate degenerative brain diseases with... sharks?
It makes sense. Shut up, Dave. This is gonna work out for everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Meanwhile, I made Dave watch 1987's Predator, a movie that made me more scared of things I can't see than things I can. Looking at you, air.
Oh, God.
So Dave, this is a fun episode. I know both of these movies, but I gotta know, what made you choose Deep Blue Sea?
Well, we decided to do some Action Creature films, and I was like... sharks. I want to do Deep Blue Sea. Samuel L. Jackson's in that movie.
Yeah.
And the graphics are really bad, so let's do that one.
You set us up for success. You set us up to talk about stuff.
There we go.
And that's all that we really require. No, Deep Blue Sea is fun. I saw it pretty soon after it came out in probably 2000 or 2001. I think we rented it or something. I don't know. I remember it. I remember the bad CG. I remember a lot of things from this movie, LL Cool J specifically.
Yep.
And it was fun. So I was excited to revisit it. But personally, I love Predator.
Okay.
When we're talking Action Creature, action comes to mind. This movie comes to mind. I was like, this would be a fun matchup.
Right.
It's goofy. It's fun. It has lots of great one-liners. And I also haven't seen it in forever as well. So I thought it would fit pretty well here.
Yeah, I had never seen it. I had never seen it all the way through. I had seen like clips on TV and like flipping through channels as a kid, but I'd never seen it all the way through until we did this episode.
I think this is my favorite part of our show is me making you watch things that I had loved or have a love for. I get to revisit them. You get to see them for the first time. And often our views on them do not align.
Not even a little.
By any stretch. So I'm really actually interested to hear what you think of Predator. It's an action classic, so...
yeah.
We'll see, I guess.
I had a good time watching it.
I had a time, and it was something. Something of note, Dave. That's for fucking sure. Yes. But
well, that's not a good start.
It isn't. But guess what? We're doing it anyway. We're in too deep, man. We're in too deep blue sea.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
God.
Can we cut?
Let's get to talking about this. I will deep blue see you in the next segment. Ha! I did it.
Son of a bitch!
Did you hear me?
Movie 1, Deep Blue Sea, 1999.
All right, Dave. Give us the synopsis for Deep Blue Sea, 1999.
Imagine a world without Alzheimer's. That's Dr. Susan's dream. She does whatever it takes to science the fuck out of the situation using human subjects. No, sorry. Sharks and their brains to make history. Watch as this absolutely does not backfire in any way, shape, or form.
It's gonna be fine. It's a quiet shark documentary.
So we open to some weird middle-of-the-ocean boat party where there's two couples of, I don't know, teens or early 20-somethings, and they're drinking, and they literally don't say a single thing for like 2 fucking minutes.
They're too busy partying, Dave.
They're literally, I'm not joking, these are the noises they're making.
The actors were like, okay, what do we say in this scene? And the director's like, I don't know. Fuck it. Just
have
like,
a good time.
just like mumble and shit. I don't know. You're partying.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of it when...
What is that?
What do you think it is, Becky? It's exactly why I'll never go out in the middle of the ocean. Anyway.
Oil rigs?
Yeah, they are floating oil rigs that attack from the bottom, right?
You never know, man.
That's not a thing?
The sea be scary.
So this shark attacks the boat, sending everyone into the fucking water. And as they struggle to get into the boat, and the shark opens its mouth for the attack, our hero arrives from from literally nowhere. He was just like there, I guess.
Quiet
He's like
boat.
waiting for these kids to fuck and like.
Yeah, he's like, damn, I guess I gotta take my hand off my penis and put it on the harpoon. Fuck.
So our hero is Carter, played by Thomas Jane. You'd know him if you saw him.
That's a great point, though. I know Thomas Jane has done other things, but he is like the quintessential generic good-looking white guy lead.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said you'd know him if you see him.
Literally, at this time in like mainstream movies, I guess I wouldn't call it the cinema. If you looked like this guy and could read, guess what? You now star in a movie.
200,000 men and women develop Alzheimer's each year. What if you could end all that suffering with a single pill?
Give me till Monday morning, 48 hours. I'll give you results that'll skyrocket your stock price, or I'll help you pack the lab myself.
Now we meet Dr. Susan as she pleads with the money guys for a little more time, as they do in these movies.
Yeah, Dr.
And
Susan.
one of these,
Sorry.
Did you say Dr. Susan?
Yeah, that's what I
Get
thought.
out.
I thought you were saying
no,
Dr.
you're fired.
Susan. Okay.
Nope.
Sorry.
You're fired.
Okay, my bad.
And one of these money guys is Russell, played by Samuel L. fucking Jackson, which is his legal full name, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
It's on his drive every time he gets pulled over. They're like, oh, okay.
What do you think, amigo? She's a 12-footer. She's beautiful.
All right, so after Dr. Also a Pilot Susan and Russell land their boat plane on this fucking facility that's just floating in the middle of the goddamn ocean, Russell is getting a tour of Nopeville, which is what I call the facility.
No, for sure. Deep blue, holy shit.
And we find out that they have 3 sharks that they've done experiments on. Awesome. Smart. I love
It's
this.
starting really good.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, I'm picking up a nasty little bitch of a squall about 30 miles out.
And as if sharks weren't bad enough, apparently a storm is headed our way. So our team packs up and heads out for the night, right?
Yeah, no,
Right?
this is good. Like, all these things converging makes sense to me. No bad vibes at all.
Also, only like 50 people from the facility are actually leaving, and they're leaving with skeleton crew to stay behind on the weekends, which makes sense, I
Yeah,
guess.
wasting away again in Margaritaville.
In Nopeville, actually. And I'm sure it's not going to end badly for the people that are staying behind.
Nope, don't see a reason why.
Besides the half a mile of catwalks, you've bought us titanium-based fencing around all the lagoon and pens. There are 3 sub-levels.
So we get a rundown of Nopeville. Or at least I think so, because all I heard was giant death trap nightmare.
I heard the same thing. It's funny. We watched the same version. Good.
Great. Awesome. Either way, now we see Dr. Susan and the brilliant scientist Jim, I guess is his name, played by Stellan Skarsgård. You'd also know him if you saw him.
For sure.
And some of their research that I'm not going to pretend like I understood in any way, shape, or form.
This movie doesn't understand the research it's doing.
Good. I feel less bad about it.
Well, a man's always got a file. What's it say?
2 years, Leavenworth, smuggling.
So here we find out that Carter has a record, and Russell is not happy about it because I guess he's afraid Carter's gonna smuggle a fucking shark. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. He sees like, generic good looking white guy. And he's like, damn, this guy stars in a movie probably. I feel intimidated even though I have $1 billion fucking dollars. This former inmate who swims with sharks got me a little hot around the collar here.
You got a big fat butt.
You know what, Bird? You were trying my last nerve. Don't make me drown your feathery ass.
So now we meet Chef Preacher, played by LL fucking Cool J, and his potty mouth parrot. And at this point, the crew feeds that 12-foot beautiful shark from earlier to the enhanced sharks, and they fucking tear it to pieces.
Yeah, this is a CG nightmare, but they rip this thing to literal shreds. It's all gross and bloody and stuff.
And then they have a party for Dr. Susan's birthday. Do you not understand that you're feet away from killing machines?
They're just drinking fucking beers and just hanging out next to swimming murder things.
Ancient murder fish.
By using a hormonal enhancer, we increased this female's forebrain to 5 times its normal size.
So, because scientists can't help but talk shop even at a fucking birthday party, we find out that they've made these sharks' brains bigger. And I guess that's because they have a very violent death wish.
We're making this shark learn that we are chum to literally bite the hand that feeds.
Also at this party, Dr. Susan threatens Carter to keep his trap shut about the shark attack in the opening scene for some reason.
Everybody's threatened by this guy.
I don't know.
West Coast Guard advisories include all craft warnings for water waters south of the U.S. mainland and west of California.
Since the storm is rolling in, now is the perfect time for a test, apparently. Carter has to Aquaman himself into the shark pens to tranquilize one of the giant smart sharks. It's a new product by Apple, I guess. And somehow drag its multi-ton body into the airlock place by himself? With no gear?
I don't know. He has a laser pointer.
But of course, this whole process doesn't go smoothly because the sharks attack the surveillance system, you know, with their famously bad eyesight they can see the cameras with and all. And then they also cut off the lights, too.
These sharks are the ocean equivalent of like a Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. He's cutting the power before he comes into the cabin to kill the stupid teenagers.
That's exactly what it is.
God damn it.
Did someone order the fish?
Putting aside the fact that shark aren't fish, this test commences with all kinds of...
I had the same fucking note.
This test commences with all kinds of computer and medical stuff that doesn't actually touch the shark, or it's not like plugged into the shark in any way, shape, or form, but can still see all of its vitals and brain waves. I don't fucking know. So Dr. Susan puts a giant rod into the shark's fucking brain as if it doesn't have a skull, I guess to get a sample of its brain fluid? Is that a thing?
Whatever.
I don't
Dave,
know.
they're not expecting us to know science.
No.
Membrane integrity is improving.
They're firing!
I'll be damned.
So they squirt a bit of this shark goo onto a chunk of human brain that's just sitting out that apparently this patient had Alzheimer's. And guess what?
What?
It's working, I guess.
It's a better brain. I don't know. It's working or
it's
something.
starting to regrow the neurons, I guess. I don't know. It's anti-Alzheimering.
Right. They're excited. We're excited. Everybody's excited.
Did it, pal? You did it.
Jim decides, you know what? I'm going to celebrate by having a cigarette with the tranquilized shark. And the now suddenly awake shark just bites Jim's fucking arm off and breaking the concrete on its restraints. So Carter grabs a shotgun to kill it. And Dr. Susan decides, no, don't kill it, and hit the fucking button, letting the shark go. And Carter's like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Dude, the shot of Jim getting his cigarette arm bitten off is like the perfect anti-smoking PSA. They should have just aired this clip on TV in the early 2000s, and I never would have smoked ever.
So obviously they have to call a chopper in to evacuate Jim in the middle of this giant storm.
Yeah.
And they get him hooked up to one of those stretchers, you know, that they pull up.
Oh, yeah. No, I know
And,
well.
and guess what, Blake?
What?
The fucking winch, hoisting him up, decides, man, this guy's too heavy, and drops him into the fucking ocean.
It just dipped him back in.
And instead of just, you know, being like, well, let me pull up real quick, he's drowning.
Yeah.
They just stay at the same fucking height. Like, oh no, what do we do?
Also question here, if the winch breaks and they can't get him fully into the helicopter, did they just give him a swinging winch ride all the way back to the mainland?
That'd have been better than what happens because one of the sharks grabs Jim and yanks the fucking chopper into the facility, blowing everything up in the process. And as if that wasn't enough, the slams Jim, who is still on the stretcher, into the glass of the room that the team is suddenly in.
Underwater, yeah.
Underwater. Like they enter in, like, get back inside. And 10 seconds later, they're 3 floors down in the observation room. And the shark is just as pissed as we are about it because the shark fucking cracks the glass that's like at least a foot thick.
At least.
And
he breaks it.
I'm starting to feel like this isn't believable.
Dude, things go so bad, so fucking quick. Like, 1 minute they cure Alzheimer's, like just like that.
Right.
And then the next, a fucking shark has single-handedly eaten a doctor, come back for seconds, wrecked a helicopter, killed the tower lady, and destroyed the whole facility in like 3 minutes of runtime.
It's just fucking insane.
The elevator seals off automatically to keep the shaft from filling. There's no way up.
After everyone somehow manages to escape the room that's just flooding fucking ocean water at like a bajillion miles an hour, they formulate a plan, okay?
Yeah.
And the plan is to use a sub that they just happen to have through the shark pens to get out.
Considering what you just saw, the shark knowingly and belligerently taking a man on a stretcher who's somehow still alive, ramming it through the glass. Like, yeah, we'll just take the little sub to the top. No, that's not how any of that works.
No, it's not going to help. At the same time, LL Cool Preacher gets swept away with more water coming in from somewhere else, I guess.
It's just water.
Actually, that could be how it works. I don't know how underwater places work. I've never been in one because I'm not a fucking maniac. Anyway, after a shark breaks down a steel door and the team regroups in another room, we find out what Dr. Susan actually did to the sharks for the second time. Because they've said this already.
Their brains weren't large enough to harvest sufficient amounts of the protein complex. Jim and I used gene therapies to increase their brain mass. As a side effect, the sharks got smarter.
So at this point, the team turns on Susan as if this is the first they're hearing of it, even though we just heard it like half hour ago.
Right.
And they make their way to the room where the sub is in, but uh-oh, it's broken. I think. I don't know.
Whatever.
It's just on the ground now.
Fine.
It seems like they could just push it into the water and be fine, but either way. Back with the LL Cool Preacher, one of the sharks eats his bird and has now trapped him in an oven and somehow turns on the gas in the oven. What? Okay, but you can't kill LL Cool Preacher because he breaks through the top of the oven with the axe that he has somehow, and he escapes and then throws a lighter in the room, turning the shark into chowder.
Dude, Preacher blows up a shark with a wet Zippo somehow.
You ate my bird.
That's what's so frustrating. Can we talk about this for 1 second? Because the things that are smart about this movie, how Preacher, the cook, gets trapped in his own oven and it's turned on. I was like, oh, that's clever. And then he, as the character, points out how clever this idea was. Like the screenwriter is like, gets trapped in his own oven. Actually, that's fucking smart. Anyway, Preacher says, look at me, God. You trapped me in my own oven. Irony? And like, it's so fucking annoying how they point out the actual clever things of this movie. But also, Preacher has nothing to fucking do in this movie till the third act. And so they just keep cutting back to him running from sharks in the water. You ate my bird. Also, every time they introduce Preacher, there's like 90s R&B playing. It's like kind of fucking racist.
It's so racist.
Water's murky. Might make it.
No way. It's 230 feet from the lagoon floor to the lagoon surface.
Aside from the subtle racism and shark explosions, the team has now decided that the best option not to be killed by sharks is to go swimming with the sharks.
The only way out is through, Dave. Through the shark's intestinal tract.
So, because the sub is borked, I guess, they're like, well, let's just swim out, right? That's fine.
Sure.
It's only 120 feet. We can make that.
This movie's dumb. Fuck it.
But one member of the crew, Skoggs, is like, I'm not going in there. Here's a maintenance ladder that I failed to mention until this very moment. But of course, it's not even that simple, because if the surface level is damaged, which we all know because we saw the chopper explode into it, then the water in this like airlocked area that they're in is just going to come bursting through and killing everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So like any good team faced with adversity, they fight.
Why not?
I'm opening this door and I'm climbing out of here.
The hell you are.
Hey, I don't work for you anymore, okay?
I love Skoggs. I think he's a fun character. He's also played by Michael Rappaport.
Oh, I love that guy.
He is the same character in everything, but that character is perfect for all the things he's in. I love this guy.
Right.
So we're not going to fight anymore. First, we're gonna seal off this.
After Russell, I guess mid-Russell, giving the most inspiring speech ever in a shark movie, one of the sharks rips through the hole in the floor where the sub is supposed to go and drags him into the water where it and another shark rip him to shreds.
This is the nihilist move from the filmmakers. Like, we have this big uplifting speech from Sam L. fucking Jackson, and just as he reaches his climax with his speech, the shark climaxes and comes out of the water and fucking rips him to shreds. Nobody's safe, Dave.
Right. And then the remaining group in the room decide, all right, let's climb then.
What is the precise structural failure limit for Aquatica?
3,200 tons.
Come on, Tom, what happens when we get more than 3,200 tons of water in this rig?
The support struts go first. Their tolerance is about 7 tons. Then the walls are gonna buckle. They can't handle more than 10 tons of pressure.
You wanna be here for that, man?
Hell no.
Once in the fucking maintenance shaft, after, of course, exactly what I said was going to happen with the water rushing in happens, a shark then busts through the door behind them and is now flooding the maintenance shaft rapidly. So one of the team, Janice, falls into the water because the ladder breaks, and a shark launches her out of the water with its jaws clamped directly on her crotch.
Oh, no.
And before pulling her under and eating her, I'm assuming. I don't think it actually shows.
Yeah, we get it.
And now that the rest of the crew watched the actual worst way to go ever, they're stuck. There's no way to reach any doors, and they just have to die here. But not on Ella Cool Preacher's watch, Blake.
The man doesn't just make cakes.
He makes entrances.
Good thing you guys came to this side. The other side is underwater. Are you all that made it?
So they have to formulate another plan to make it to the surface.
Plan 45.
And this one is they're going to split up. Chef Preacher Cool J and Dr. Susan are going to hang out, I guess, and wait as Carter and Skoggs have to reroute some pump that's going to clear water out of a stairwell.
Yeah.
But to do that, they have to go swimming in a room that's already flooded and damaged. Oh, and hey, Jim's body's in here too.
Oh, fun. The whole gang's here.
One of your stupid monitors is blocking the pen. You wouldn't help me move it?
So Carter and Skoggs get to work, right? And it looks like they did it, I think. I'm not sure. But you know who doesn't care either way? The shark that comes out of nowhere and rips Skoggs in half with his twitching legs floating behind him.
The shark's like, whoop, 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 it just apparates out of fucking nowhere. Well, sucks to suck, man.
At the same time, Dr. Susan is like, but my research! And she goes into her half-flooded quarters to retrieve it.
I hate her.
She grabs the hard drive that the research is on, and before she can make her way back, of course, a shark attacks.
Right.
And while she's able to dodge it, though, she drops and loses the hard drive. So now she's stuck on a table, and there's only one way out, Blake.
Which way?
And that's to, electrocute a shark, apparently?
Oh, fuck. I know they were trying to give Dr. Susan some power here as a woman when she electrocuted the shark, pun intended, by the way. Power to Dr. You see?
Oh, boy.
But when you try to give power to a woman in a movie, but then also make her strip into her fucking bikini, it kind of undermines your point.
A little bit.
Is this the only way? Extra flooded.
So after Dr. Susan somehow avoids electrocuting herself in a room full of water and electricity just flowing everywhere, the team realizes that neither part of their plan worked. It's back to plan, I don't know, K, whichever letter they're fucking on before the split up plan.
Whatever.
And this plan is they have to get through a hatch and swim like 60 feet to the surface, I guess. Okay. And in the process, they're able to distract the lone remaining shark with life vests and fire extinguishers that they got from, I don't know, their asses, apparently.
You're telling me that the shark that recognizes people and cameras and belligerently crushes another man through windows and stuff is like, shiny red extinguisher. Ooh, wow, something floaty and fun. Like, what? Is this a toddler or is this a highly intelligent shark?
I don't know. Both, I guess.
Fucking apparently, you have your cake and eating it with sharks. I don't know.
Have your shark cake and get eaten by it, too. Either way, though, they make it to the surface. Woo. Well, almost. Right as they gasp in their first breaths, the shark grabs Chef Preacher Cool J by the leg. But you know what, Blake? He ain't going out like that. He stabs the shark in the eye with the cross that's around his neck, and he gets away.
Yeah, dude. It made the original shark exorcist.
Right, the shark exorcist. And, and after Dr. Susan is able to patch up his leg, even though he for sure has his femoral artery ripped.
He's going to bleed out very shortly.
Yeah, so after she finishes patching him up, and Carter says the title of the movie, they come up with a plan to kill the last smart shark on the shelves, who is trying to escape into the ocean. Right?
Oh, that would be bad, Dave. What happens if it escapes into the ocean?
Death.
Yep.
We ought to get about 2.5 sticks of dynamite out of these flares. From up here, you ought to be able to see me spirit. When I do, you take this end of this cable, hook it up to the positive side of the Hope battery, and boom.
Cool. That sounds like nothing's going to go wrong at all. Oh, wait, nope. It does. Because after aiming for 10 seconds, Carter is like, I don't have a shot. And Dr. Susan's like, all right, cool, I'm going to let it eat me. And then you can take the shot. She literally jumps into the water after cutting her hand on some jagged metal, and the shark rips her in half and eats both halves. But Carter's dumbass jumps in the water to try and save her, leaving LL Cool Preacher to have to shoot the harpoonamite.
So Preacher comes out of the water with the like harpoon gun, and the music just bah, 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 bah. And I was like, this has got to be a joke. This has got to be a fucking joke right now.
This is for Scarface.
Well, guess what? LL Cool Preacher makes the shot, but also impales Carter's stupid fucking leg. So Carter is being dragged through the water towards the fence, and as the shark breaks through the fence, Carter holds on with enough force to rip his leg clear as Preacher blows the charge and...
Carter! Bring me some sushi!
Carter makes his way back to LL Cool Preacher and I guess into history books as the single most badass guy in ocean shark history when suddenly the Weekend Crew, I guess, is back after one day, not the entire weekend.
The timeline of this movie is very fucking confusing.
I was saying, how long were we in this facility? Either way, though, Carter and LL Cool Preacher finally relax and justifiably quit their jobs as the next shift's boat approaches. And then we roll credits.
Can you imagine the weekday people show up in the boat and everything's destroyed and there's two dickheads are laying on a thing? You're never gonna believe what happened. It's the craziest story.
The sharks did it. They're gonna be like, I don't believe you.
I want to see the movie, but reframed from their perspective, where they come back to work on Monday and this is what they come back to.
I feel like we could edit that pretty easily.
Right? It's like re-pieced together through like the night what happened. I want to see that.
Oh, love it. So yeah, that's that was Deep Blue Sea.
What a fucking movie, dude. This is... Do people still talk about this movie?
Not like in the general zeitgeist, but everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think people remember the part where Sam Jackson got eaten by a shark. I think they remember the kind of bad CG. I didn't remember a lot of it, but except most of those little pieces. And LL Cool J.
Yes.
I remember those two characters.
Oh, yeah.
And like they actually let a black person live through the end of the movie.
I was going to say, I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you did.
It's true, though. It's like, dang, finally. I mean, R.I.P. Sam Jackson, but like, at least you let LL Cool J live.
1 out of 2 made it. Good odds.
Not really, but whatever. I guess I'll take what I can get in 1999.
Right. Fuck. Shit. Well, you know what? I had a lot of fun, but I want to talk about the alien.
the alien in the room? Yeah.
Yes. I want to talk about the alien in the room.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Let's get on to the next movie.
Movie 2, Predator, 1987.
All right, dude, I don't want to wait any longer. I really want to get into Predator, so why don't you go ahead and give me the synopsis for 1987's Predator.
When a group of the buffest and least homosexual men enter the jungle to recover hostages, they realize that none of that matters because there's a fucking invisible alien out there, and it's here to play with its food.
Oh, God. Accurate.
Unbelievable. So we open to the same exact shot that every single Alien Come to Earth film starts with ever. It's a spaceship, and it's careening towards Earth, Dave.
Yep.
I think this film might actually be more fun without this shot. Like, it was a backdoor alien jungle movie, right? That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. How did it get here? Space.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up. It doesn't matter. It is here, and it's just doing the thing.
Agreed.
Early notes, but moving on.
18 hours ago, we lost a chopper carrying a cabinet minister and his aide in this charming little country.
This cabinet minister, does he always travel on the wrong side of the border?
Good one, Arnold. So some mysterious men wearing sunglasses at night, which means they're cool, they get out of a helicopter led by none other than our stogie-smoking, red shirt-wearing cool guy and our hero, Dutch.
Yeah, it's the Wish.com A-Team.
It's true. Dutch is, of course, played by my real dad, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get to the paternity test.
Apparently, they strayed off course, and we're fairly certain they're in guerrilla hands.
So why don't you use the regular army? What do you need us for?
Because some damn fool accused you of being the best.
So Dutch and his elite men have been hired by the government to get this cabinet minister or whatever out of a Central American country or whatever, where he was, I guess, captured by guerrilla forces. And it sounds simple enough, right?
Yeah, or whatever.
Luckily, Dutch's friend Dylan, played by Carl Weathers, he's here to assist them with a mission as oversight from the government.
Yeah, and we get that mean scene handshake that's all over the internet.
We do.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
This is also where I remembered that this is essentially I Worked Out the movie. Lots of this shit going on, I'm telling you.
Hey, the other day I went up to my girlfriend. I said, you know, I'd like a little pussy. She said, me too. Mine's as big as a house.
This is so terrible.
What a terrible joke.
This is the worst intro to all of our characters.
What the fuck is a big pussy?
What does that mean? It's as big as a house.
What does that mean? What?
These guys are definitely gay, which is fine to be clear, but like they clearly don't know what female anatomy is.
No, it's funny. I didn't even gather that much. Like I did not ping them for that at all, but now I'm like, oh.
It's just saying. This is an empowerment movie.
That's definitely a joke made by a guy who's only ever touched peepees.
So we are chopper bound to the location where, you know, for Minister Guy or something, we meet our muscle bound team. We have Mac, Billy, Poncho, Hawkins, and Blaine, the sexual Tyrannosaurus, played by Jesse the Body Ventura.
This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus, just like me.
Jesse Ventura later went on to be the governor of Minnesota, making this, along with Arnold, a two governors movie.
Oh, hey! I didn't even think about that.
Regal, if nothing else. So our boys get dropped off in the jungle, and when they're prancing around the next morning, they find that helicopter, you know, that they were looking for.
Yeah.
It's stuck in the trees, like some kid's shitty kite or something.
Sir, you can't park there.
Pilots have each got one round in the head. Whoever hit it stripped the shit out of it.
So we climb up in the chopper, and we find that the cabinet minister and his aide, they're gone. They've been taken hostage by gorillas, which must have been pretty easy after a fucking helicopter crash. But what do I know? Something isn't sitting right with Billy. He's our tracker member of the team. He's like slinking through the jungle and using his senses when he finally sniffs something out. It's bodies, Dave. 3 of them.
Is it? It's like, ugh.
They're not just regular corpses, though. They're skinned corpses. They're jelly corpses. They look fucking gross.
Somebody turned them inside out.
Yes, exactly.
Jim Hopper.
Mac, cut him down.
But I do have to point out that the skinned bodies are military men, one of them being Jim Hopper. Could be a coincidence, but Jim Hopper is also the sheriff from Stranger Things, so maybe Jim went on to have an even worse military career after all the shit that went down in Hawkins. I'm just saying, I've uncovered a conspiracy.
Super.
Anyway, things aren't adding up for our boys.
Can't believe that Jim Hopper walked into an ambush.
I don't believe he did. I can't find a single track.
Spooky, Dave.
Oh.
Things are spooky. Things are happening. Whatever. We're gonna ignore all the red flags, Dave, and we gotta keep moving through the jungle towards the hostages. These thighs are not gonna work themselves out after all, and we gotta get a glimpse of something, Dave. We get a glimpse of a POV from what?
Oh, what?
We get a POV shot, Dave, from something. It's watching the team with thermal imaging. Sure, like this is freaky.
Yeah.
But it could still just be one of Jim Hopper's men that ate the wrong kind of berries in the woods.
And he's hallucinating his entire mind out.
We don't know yet. It could also be an alien. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Not even fuck you.
So, we're at the compound where the hostages have been taken.
What was the point of shooting the first hostage we see in the fucking head? Now you have no leverage. What's the point of taking him in the first place?
They have to show us that these are bad men and not very smart. Susceptible to explosions, even. So Dutch sends his men into action, and they slide down this hill in like a bunch of leaves that I think would actually make a lot of noise. you might as well just walked down there.
That makes a lot more noise than just creeping down. But go on.
Right. Well, I guess I'm not a military guy, but still, it seems dumb. The point is, it's time for some of that sweet, sweet human death, Dave.
Yes.
Showtime, kid.
It's chaos out here, Dave. There's enough explosions, fire, blood, and guns to give any 80s dad a boner in his khakis. It's the ultimate dad movie, and this proves it. It's macho dudes doing macho stuff.
Not to mention, Blaine just hip firing a fucking 50 cal machine gun.
it's a fucking mini goes, junk, 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 junk. Yeah, shooting from the hip.
Just hip firing.
It's fucking insanity. And this goes on for a while, but we get some good Arnold one-liners, like when he throws a knife at a guy and says, stick around.
Stick around.
His one-liners here make me almost forgive him for holding the gun horribly wrong.
It doesn't matter. He also kicks down a bamboo door and says, knock, knock, before blowing the guys. Like, it's classic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how stupid it is. If you say it, like, with conviction, like, Arnold could have kicked down that door and said, jelly donut, and killed everybody. And I would have still been clapping.
You fucking got me there.
Mac! Any sign of the other hostage?
Found the other guy. He's dead too. From the looks of it, our cabinet minister was CIA. Other guys who waxed were Russian military advisors. Something pretty big was gonna happen here.
What does this mean for us, Dave?
Oh, it means Dylan fucking lied, I guess.
Okay, that was an actual... I have no fucking idea what's going on. We don't have time. And neither does Blaine.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
There's so many of these. There's so many of them.
Oh, God.
So we finally get some answers as to what the hell is actually going on here and all that confusing military guy talk. Basically, you're right. Dylan sent Dutch and his boys in under false pretense.
Yes.
It's all bullshit. All of it. The cabinet minister, the whole business. Got us in here to do your dirty work. Look, we just stopped a major invasion.
But none of this actually matters,
no,
Dave, because we got to get to the extraction point and get the fuck out of Central America. There's snakes there.
There's snakes and other scary things, and they actually show an anaconda on screen.
I don't like it. I
don't fuck with snakes.
The guys, they get all their gear together while Dylan casually abducts a woman to take it back with them. So I guess the government can get some information out of her, which is normal, I guess.
For the U.S. government. Go on. It's honestly super difficult to see anything that's going on in this infrared thing. I don't understand how the Predator's so good with this.
I just... He's supposed to be an advanced alien technological being, but, like, I can't see shit.
I'm blind as fuck with this thing on.
This is some Windows 98-ass graphics. Whatever. Our team is on the move. They got to get to the extraction point.
All right, here we go.
We spend almost 5 minutes of this movie's runtime just prancing through the jungle and looking at stuff. It's like, it goes on for a long time.
It does.
But Billy stops because he's sensing something, and whatever it is, it's dangerous.
What the hell is wrong with you? There's something in those trees.
The men all kind of look around, and the woman who they captured, remember her?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, she escapes, and Hawkins runs after her when he catches up to her, but something catches up to them, Dave.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Please!
Oh no, they got a pussy joke guy. What's his name? Hawkins, that guy.
It's Shane Black. He's got to finish writing Lethal Weapon, so he's out of here. He left the movie. Mm-hmm. But a weird geometric shape attacks Hawkins, and it kills him. It's obviously some kind of creature, and unless those berries can turn you invisible, I'm thinking it is definitely an alien. And from the opening, is probably the most likely culprit here.
I would assume.
I don't know how you feel about this, but I think this effect has aged pretty well, to be honest. It's simple, and I don't think it's overdone.
I didn't hate it.
It's not the best, but I think it does work. We don't see it too much.
No, but it didn't take me out of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
No sé, no estoy segura, no sé.
She says the jungle. It just came alive and took him.
I want Hawkins' body found.
So the men search for Hawkins' body, but newsflash, the alien, which I'm now just going to call the Predator to avoid confusion going on here.
We're talking about the right movie now.
The Predator has Hawkins' body strung up like a piñata. Mm-hmm. They essentially stalk through the jungle looking for Hawkins when Blaine is our next unfortunate victim here.
Oh, God. Oh, shit, his whole chest exploded!
Dude, I guess he did have time to bleed after all, now that he's fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone takes off, chasing after this barely seen Predator, but Mac has his geometric outline. He knows what's going on. Kind of.
Sure. Feels like he's losing his mind, but go on.
Oh, yeah, that's for fucking sure. Because what do you do when you're an American and you're faced with the unknown, Dave? You fucking shoot it.
Yeah, just fucking fire blindly into the jungle. I'm sure that's going to work. Who needs ammo anyway?
Everyone shows up, and they start shooting too. Mac pulls out the fucking minigun, and it looks like they're trying to turn the forest or jungle or whatever into a parking lot. Like, they're just... they're expending all of their ammo to cut down all the trees in this jungle. But you know what they end up hitting, Dave?
What?
Nothing.
They miss everything.
It's a bad look.
Mac, look at me. Who did this?
I don't know, goddamn. I saw something.
Now, Dutch realizes they aren't dealing with guerrilla fighters out there. They're dealing with something else, something brutal.
I gotta say, I'm really mad that the writer here decided to use the word hunter instead of the movie title, because that would have been primo.
I'm glad they avoided it. This movie has enough cheese. I would have groaned just a little bit. This is fun, but like, don't overdo it. Don't overplay your hand.
Give me all the cheese at this point.
If nothing else, this movie's about subtlety, Dave.
I want a defensive position above that ridge. Mine with everything we've got.
So this whole thing really fucks with Mac to see his friend Blaine, dead as hell.
Super dead.
They never establish how close these guys are.
I was gonna ask.
They don't. But like when Bill Duke, who plays Mac, he gives it his all in this role. He's like really leaning in heavy. Yeah. But like he's like so upset. He's like having this like kind of montage, and he's talking to himself and stuff about his friend Blaine who's dead.
Bonkers.
And all we ever saw is Blaine chew tobacco and call people homophobic slurs
while calling himself a sexual tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, like nobody should be that guy's friend. Don't associate.
Also, what does a sexual tyrannosaurus mean? Is that like you're really top heavy and fall over a lot? I don't know.
When you're built that big, you can say anything, and because nobody's going to question you.
Oh.
Because if somebody's like, what the fuck is a sexual tyrannosaurus? You get punched in the face. It's over.
Fair point.
You don't have to ask questions.
Goodbye, bro.
So the team set up camp and tripwires and stuff just in case the Predator comes back. But speaking of the Predator, it actually has been wounded. It's bleeding green, iridescent blood all over the forest. So we get to see in some like tight shots the Predator itself. It's got to patch up its own wound, so it opens up a CD-ROM drive in its suit. It takes out the copy of Myst that it has in there, and it pulls out some tools to stitch itself up. This is a high-tech soldier alien.
I'm just saying, I had no idea the Predator was a medic too, so can we just call him the Meditor now?
Nurse
the
Predator.
Meditor.
Sure.
Moving on.
We also get a glimpse for the first time. We get a glimpse of this thing, which it's pretty scary looking. It has like a helmet and like dreadlocks, which I know it's an alien, but still feels like cultural appropriation. But whatever.
A little bit.
Do better, Predator.
They say we're still in too far, and they can't risk coming in after us.
Your assets, Dylan. Expendable assets.
The team now has to travel even farther to get extracted because the region is still chaotic, and we have 50 more minutes of runtime to fill, so the journey continues, Dave.
I'm scared, Pancho.
Bullshit. You ain't afraid of no man.
We're all gonna die.
Bit on the nose, no?
Laid it on thick. We get it. Now back to the guns and muscles and explosions and stuff. Let's get back to that stuff. That's fun.
Boners!
Dad boners! Now it is night, and Mac is sweating profusely and losing his fucking mind, talking to himself.
Yeah.
He's just like muttering all this crazy stuff and singing songs.
Yikes.
But something trips the tripwire around their camp. It was a pig, but in the scuffle, the Predator has like snuck in. We don't see it, but it's like snuck in and stolen Blaine's body. It stole his corpse for, I don't know why, actually.
For a decoration, I guess?
Just to be an asshole.
Mine.
Blaine's body. It's gone.
Came in through the tripwires.
We do find out later that it's collecting skulls, but it doesn't make sense here in the moment.
Nope.
But there's one thing we do learn from their woman hostage, who is named Anna. She gets a name, finally.
Yeah, and somehow speaks English.
she was leading them on before, just trying to be like, no hable. Leave me here. I can't help you. You don't have translators, do you?
Yesterday, what did you see?
I don't know what it was. It changed colors, like the chameleon. It uses the jungle.
You saying that Blaine and Hawkins were killed by a fucking lizard?
So Anna, she discovered that the predator has scattered some of its blood because, it got hurt earlier. So she sees some of this green blood. And you know what that means, right? Nope.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Hey!
He said the thing.
He said the thing. Oh, I love it.
The men decide to set up more booby traps, I guess, to catch the predator. And it works insofar as it scoops the predator up. But of course, it has a plasma gun to shoot its way out. And it hits Poncho in the process.
It does.
Shit!
Now it's all out fucking war against this thing.
You're gonna learn today.
Mac tries to sneak up on it when it just turns and explodes his fucking head in this horrifying display of practical effects. It's so gross.
Oh my god.
It's not like a full-blown like scanner's head explosion, but like it's
bad.
It's pretty bad.
He didn't kill you because you weren't armed. No sport.
Dutch also deduces, using his big muscular brain, that the predator isn't hunting them for any sort of need for itself. It's hunting them for sport, which, yeah, I guess it does sound like an asshole, so that checks out.
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of assholes, Dylan has his arm shot off by the predator, and his severed limb continues to shoot the gun.
Oh, I love that scene so much.
It's so good. Like, his limbs are separately badass and don't need its brain to tell them to be manly. Just keep firing. It's fucking great. He's, of course, killed and left behind.
Oh, yeah.
So down the path, as they're continuing to escape, Billy decides, you know what? I'm going to take a stand against this fucking thing. So Dutch and Anna, they escape. Dutch is carrying a wounded Poncho, and Billy's up there, and he slices across himself. He's ready to take on this predator.
At first I was like, dude, what are you doing? And then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and get the death over with. I want this to go and die, please. I'm ready.
You have a good point here, because this whole dramatic display of masculinity lasts all of 2 fucking seconds before Billy is just killed off screen. It's just off screen and he's fucking dead. And the predator catches up to Dutch and Anna, finally killing Poncho for good.
Oh, God. Of course it does.
And just like that, it's Dutch and Anna. They're the only ones left. So Dutch gets shot by the predator, so he yells to Anna the 6 words that have guided me through my adolescence and into my adulthood.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
It's another thing. We're just getting all the hits tonight.
Dude. Oh, it made me so happy.
Oh, it's so good. Obligatory Austrian death machine.
Get to the chopper!
So Anna gets the fuck out of there, and Dutch just slides off a cliff into a river and then over a waterfall and then swims to shore. This dude cannot die, apparently.
No, he's too muscly.
But neither can the predator. So, covered in mud, Dutch hides among some tree roots, and I guess the mud has masked Dutch's body heat, so the predator can't see him. It's a revelation.
It's just mud.
I don't think that's how it works in reality, but sci-fi monster.
He couldn't see me.
Yeah, we just saw Dutch.
Is that what happened?
You're just saying it out loud now, whatever. Anyway, it's time for the third act, Dave. We're moving along. Dutch is in full killer Boy Scout mode now. He's setting up traps. He's lifting things. He's smearing himself with mud. It's the works. All of this while the predator rips the spine out of Billy's dead body on a tree.
Oh my god, brutal.
I really like this. It looks good. So the night comes once again, and Dutch, he needs some light to finish his traps. So naturally, he makes a fire.
Yeah.
But like, can't the predator see heat? What are you doing?
It's like, you just figured out the heat's the thing.
He just figured this out. It literally just happened. He's like, oh, it can sense heat. Fuck, what should I do? I'm going to start a fire. Like, dude, God damn it. We don't have any time to think about this because Dutch, he's making makeshift bow and arrows and gunpowder leaf bomb things or something.
He's ready. Let's do it.
Iron Man, hear me roar. See, it's a metaphor, Dave. Primalism over technology. Advanced alien tech is no match for sticks and mud or something. I don't know what this movie's trying to tell me. So the Predator hears Dutch's battle cry, and he too knows it's the third act, so he comes out to play. We're about to start in the age-old game of cat and mouse, or cat and other cat, apparently. Dutch is swinging from tree to tree, and he's hidden with mud, firing derpy-ass exploding arrows while the Predator looks for him.
Oh, God.
Dutch leads the Predator on a goose chase through the jungle towards his, like, little traps, that he made.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he gets a little wet, and the mud washes off, so the Predator finds him immediately.
Yeah, because he's got nothing without his mudouflage.
Remember earlier when I said that they discovered the Predator was hunting for sport?
Yeah.
Well, this becomes very apparent now when the Predator, it catches Dutch, but it doesn't kill Dutch.
No.
He actually wants to fight Dutch without his technology, which, again, dumb, but whatever.
So stupid.
The Predator takes his suit off, and we finally see it in all of its mandible glory, flexing on these hoes. It's scary. Like, the design of this thing is fucking scary.
Yeah, I also love how it just happens to breathe oxygen, too, so.
It's a fortunate coincidence.
One ugly motherfucker.
Giving me trauma flashbacks to high school, but whatever, Dutch. So the fight is on. It's Arnold versus Predator now. Mm-hmm. Dutch finally leads the Predator to his trap, but as it turns out, the Predator is smarter than that stupid haircut would let on. He circumvents the trap and walks right into another trap.
Ha ha! Got him.
But it's not over yet, Dave, because Dutch is here to smash the Predator with a rock when it plays with its alien watch thing, setting off some sort of timer.
I don't know.
He's like the alien Apple Watch. He's like, oh, set explosion, self-destruct mode for 1 minute from now. Thank you.
That's ridiculous.
It's going to explode, and thus begins the funniest part of this movie, the part where the Predator starts laughing like a 50s B-movie mad scientist.
Why is he laughing? What is he laughing for?
This is why I think the end of this movie is a fucking hallucination in and of itself.
It has
Dutch
to
got
be.
some berries. This is nuts. I laughed so hard at this. It is so great. I forgot about this part of the movie.
Oh, dude, I was flabbergasted.
It is purely off the rails by this point. But the Predator is trapped, and so it does go into self-destruct mode, and as soon as Dutch runs away, the sci-fi bomb goes off. Now we cut to the famous choppa, where we can see there's a mushroom cloud from this explosion.
Jesus Christ.
And Anna is on board. She made it to the choppa, and they swing through, and they pick Dutch up, I guess. They don't really say.
Sure.
But I'm not going to lie. There's that shot of Dutch as, like, the sun's kind of coming up and the smoke's clearing, and, like, those horns play. I thought they were going to start playing the national fucking anthem.
Oh, my God, bro.
I really thought so.
Oh, my God, bro.
Right?
Hilarious.
Listen to this. So lastly, we get a shot of the beat-up Dutch. He's flying off into the rising sun, having taken out an alien hunter with strength, wit, and 5 servings of pre-workout. And finally, we roll credits, Dave. So that was quite a ride.
Dude, I had so much fun with this movie. I was on board for every moment.
Dude, me too. I need to get my testosterone levels checked. For sure. But this movie is a blast.
Yeah, I just want to go work out and punch things.
I need to see my doctor. Something's wrong with me, but it's fine. I'm gonna get there. But a lot of fun stuff, both intentionally and unintentionally in this movie.
Agreed.
And it's a perfect example of that balls to the walls 80s action flick.
So goofy.
I think that's where the charm comes in and the lasting factor for this movie. Like, you can take it seriously if you want, but when your tastes evolve, you can still kind of come back to this and still have an enjoyable time.
It's true. I think that it does stand the test of time a little bit in terms of its funness.
Yeah.
And I mean, not so much in its CG-ness, but whatever. I think it's I think it's good. I think it's fun. It's a good popcorn action flick, and
Totally.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
No, I agree. This is a good time overall. I'd say both of these movies were fun to watch because they're schlocky as shit.
So schlocky. Oh my god.
It's wild. So this is going to be a fun Thunderdome because I'm excited to talk about these movies more.
Let's just get into it. I just want to get to it. Let's just do it.
Movie versus movie. Welcome to the Thunderdome. This place fucking rules.
All right, Dave, we're back in the Thunderdome, fresh off of a set of deadlifts, and I'm ready to battle this out. Feeling swole.
I am feeling gigantic, so let's do it.
Did I say swole? I meant swollen. Swollen.
Oh, yeah, swollen
Lots of
from
salt.
got it.
I've been eating lately.
Bloated.
Anyway, my pants don't fit, but before we watch these movies, Dave, you and I decide on 5 things that we both agree make a good genre movie, in this case, action creature movies.
Yeah.
So let's go through them.
Let's do it.
Number 1, we need a dutiful call to action.
We're on a mission, goddammit.
Number 2, we need a badass protagonist.
Is our good guy, well, I guess a badass?
Number 3, we need an overpowering creature.
What the fuck is this thing?
Number 4, we need heart-pounding action sequences.
Oh my god, are they gonna make it?
And lastly, number 5, we need an explosive climax.
I am spent from that ending.
So I have to say, Predator is a movie that absolutely embodies the dutiful call to action.
Okay.
These men are highly trained, definitely don't kiss each other, and they're ready to get stuff done, dude. Even though they were led to Central America under false pretense, they went in to save an American for the government, and despite being lied to initially, when the tides turn and the Predator starts mauling them to death, Dutch becomes duty-bound to the memories of his friends who died, and he stays there to defeat the Predator by any means necessary, including derpy arrows. It's it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a call to action. I wouldn't say it's necessarily dutiful because they were lied to. You know, it's kind of
regardless of why they got there, their intentions is what I'm talking about. They were holding up their end of the bargain. It was dutiful in its intention, and then it turns around and becomes dutiful to the memories of the fallen swole guys.
All right. You know what? That's fine. I guess it's just hard for me to agree full-heartedly when you compare to the dutiful call to action of Dr. Susan. Because she has a very strong call to action in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
She feels this moral push to try and cure all degenerative brain diseases by using shark brains that are in no way similar to human brains. Whatever. Her call to action is so strong, she breaks international law and makes sharks huge and smart. That's how dedicated she is to this mission.
I mean, yes, this is a strong point for Deep Blue Sea. She is trying to do something great. Her father was afflicted with Alzheimer's, and she is this, she has a story where she had to see him degenerate. It's terrible. So she's doing all this stuff for a reason, even when things go awful, and she's raised sharks to be murder machines. She's like, are they that bad though? Because diseases? And I'm like, bitch, you're not going to make it to the fucking mainland if you don't stab these things to death. So I get it. It makes sense. That tracks for me. I'm fine with that in Deep Blue Sea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and while she is the one who has her dutiful call to action, she's not our badass protagonist, however. Our badass protagonist in Deep Blue Sea is Carter, played by the guy that you know but can't figure out his name. And he's
generic guy from other things.
Right. And he's got a record, apparently, but swims with sharks and can somehow outmaneuver them in their own habitat. He's so badass that he can just dodge a charging shark. Not to mention, he gets a spear gun through the leg after leading everyone to safety. Or, well, I mean, I guess it's only him and one other person, but still.
He doesn't even cry.
No.
I'd be dead. But what can I say about Dutch from Predator that hasn't already been displayed in my recap? The man smokes stogies like a chimney while retaining the lung capacity to run through the dense, humid jungle. Like, he can murder people with sick one-liners. But on top of all of this, Dutch can also take a header off of cliffs and waterfalls and still use his battered-ass brain to devise traps to kill the Predator. Like, how much more badass does it get, man?
I mean, no, I get it. I mean, it's Arnold. He's so badass that he just fucking holds a full automatic rifle as if it's a pistol and just, like, always hip firing in the goddamn thing. Yeah, okay, you're fine. You know... he's always got your adrenaline going.
It's true, and between him and the Predator, it's like two forces colliding. But I have to say, moving on to our next point, the Predator is an overpowering creature.
Oh, absolutely.
And boy, oh boy, Dave, there really isn't a creature quite like the Predator. Like, it's an advanced alien hunter with invisibility and a plasma gun and fucking dreadlocks. This thing can move around the jungle via the trees and blow people's heads off for fun. There's no realistic way, for humans to get around all these advantages it has. So it takes killing all of Dutch's men for Dutch to accidentally figure out a workaround. Like, the Predator's also fucking scary looking. Once it takes off its helmet and we see its, like, mandibles, and it's straight up over for me. I don't have the heart strength to handle any of this.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely overpowering and scary and terrifying. But you can kind of suspend disbelief because it's not real.
Sure.
But you know what is real?
What?
Sharks. Sharks.
Are they?
And sharks are...
I've never seen one, so... I don't know.
Maybe get out of your bathtub every once in a while and you'll find one.
Sounds like a lot of effort. Go on.
Yeah. And you know what? The only thing worse than sharks?
What?
Smart sharks.
Oh, yeah.
Sharks that can swim backwards. Sharks that can plot and act and kill people just because they feel like it. These smart sharks are able to kill so many people in just a few hours. They're clearly overpowering creatures.
Yeah.
They're able to break glass with people in stretchers. They're able to swim up a tunnel even though they don't have enough room. All kinds of crazy shit.
Breaking the laws of thermodynamics. It's wild over here. Like, and I get it with the sharks. They're smart, but they're terrestrial beings. I think there are ways to, like, you can get, if you get them out of water, maybe you get a ramp or something and you ramp them onto land, they're gonna die. Whereas the Predator, he's from a different world. I feel like he's a little bit more overpowering in this situation because he's also stealthier. This shark is fucking huge. All these sharks that are scary and big, they're stuck in a pen. So, for my money, I think the more overpowering and insidious creature would probably be the Predator.
So long as they don't join forces with a tornado.
Okay, that touche. There's a major caveat here. If tornadoes are involved, Deep Blue Sea might have the edge here.
Well, let's get into our next point. Heart-pounding action sequences.
Oh, yeah.
Because listen, every time a shark is about to attack, it's almost treated like a horror scene.
Yeah.
People are stalked, they're attacked, and most of the time, they're killed.
True.
Because sharks. There's explosions, people being bit in half, a woman being bit by a shark on her entire crotch.
Ow.
This thing is filled with heart-pounding action sequences front to back. Also, let's not forget the poor parrot, shall we?
I don't like the parrot. I'm not a bird guy.
I mean...
I'm fine with it.
All right. Well, I guess fuck me then.
Yeah, sorry. But I understand. There is a lot of great heart-pounding action sequences in Deep Blue Sea. Better than I thought they were going to be, honestly. Better than I remember. I was pretty happy with some of the action sequences here. What I found lacking were some of the different scenarios. It kind of felt like a shark shows up, people run. Like every kind of time, every action sequence was kind of the same. But Predator could be categorized a number of ways as a movie. Okay. Just like you said with Deep Blue Sea, it's sci-fi, it's horror, it's a creature film. But I think first and foremost, this actually is an action movie. And when it comes to that, it delivers tenfold, dude. There's buildings blowing up, jungles blowing up, people blowing. You name it, Dave, it explodes. Okay?
It's true.
But what makes these action sequences so compelling is the chase factor. There's something hunting these guys, and they don't know how to fight it. They use everything in their power, and it still doesn't work.
Nope.
So even by the end, when it's just Dutch and nature, he's using it to its like full extent to win, right?
Right.
It's so
Right.
many kinds of action, and it had my heart racing the whole time. And that could be the cheese that I've been eating a lot of cheese lately, but
Yes.
my heart was racing the whole time in this movie.
I mean, I guess that's fine because like everyone dies, and it's like, how are you gonna fight something you can't even see, right?
Yeah.
I understand, and there's definitely lots of explosions.
No, it's true. And speaking of explosions, we got to move on to our big explosive climax.
Yeah, that's what they called me in college.
Oh, fuck.
That's not true. I didn't go to college. Anyway,
We should probably stop. Okay, not to go on, but the climax of Predator is literally explosive. Like, maybe it's some kind of metaphor, doubt it, but the movie ends the only way it possibly could, with like an alien suicide and attempted murder. It's ludicrous in the best way. Like, the Predator types self-exploding mode into its Apple Watch and laughs maniacally as he sets it off in what looks like a nuclear warhead from the helicopter. It's fucking huge, and it should have ripped the flesh off a Dutch, but I guess not. It doesn't matter. And then,
fair point.
You know what happens after that, Dave? The movie just ends because
Oh.
it knows I don't give a fuck anymore. We got what we came here for.
True. Absolutely. I kind of feel like Deep Blue Sea does the same thing because it quite literally has an explosive climax when LL Cool Preacher blows the final shark into smithereens with electricity from a battery and dynamite from I don't know.
Whatever.
Who cares? It's an explosion, right? The sharks are dead, and our hero and 1 out of 7 people make it out alive. Those are pretty good results against smart sharks, I'd say.
You know what? You have a great point, okay? Both of these endings, I think, are perfect. They know what kind of movies they are. The
Yes.
big ending happens, the creature explodes, and then the movie stops. We don't need an epilogue. I don't give a
No.
shit about Carter. I don't give a shit about Preacher. I don't care about Dutch. I don't care about Anna. I don't care about the government. I just care that the alien exploded and our hero lived, and now I get to go home.
Yes.
So kudos to both of these films for just stopping when they needed to.
Agreed. Speaking of going home, let's get to the finish line so we can do that.
Oh, God, thank God. Praying for it, dude.
Hey, look, we did it. It's the finish line. We're at the finish line. Can I go home yet? All right.
All right.
Hey.
It's a race to the finish, and we've made it, but we're getting to a photo finish here, Dave, because I think it might be a close one.
Do you?
I don't know. Probably not, actually. I don't know.
I was going to say, are you sure?
I don't know. Maybe.
We might have been watching different movies here.
I don't know. We'll see, because we are basing our judgments off of how good of genre movies these are. We're talking about action creature films, Dave, so
we sure are.
Where are you finding yourself sitting these days? Predator
in my
versus
chair.
Deep Blue Sea.
What do you mean? I'm right. You can see me on screen. I'm in my chair. Oh, you mean the movies? Oh,
I hate
sorry.
this.
I think this is obvious. I don't know why this is even a question. As funny as a lot of Deep Blue Sea was, and as horrible as most of the graphics were, it's clear to me that Predator is the better film in the action creature genre because it's fucking classic. It's Arnold. It's choppas. It's explosions. It's aliens. It's everything. It wins. Period.
That's fair. It's a classic for a reason, like you said, and it still works with a lot of these horror tropes. And all these elements combined makes for like such a great movie.
Yes.
But if we're talking about genre, Deep Blue Sea has a lot of great things.
I'm gonna punch you in your fucking face.
Deep Blue Sea, they have the big sharks, the crazy people, the super stereotypical archetype people.
No.
You know, they have Sam Jackson.
No.
They have the guy who got out of prison. It's like
This is
there's
not
action.
happening.
No, listen. Just listen. Hear me out, because LL Cool J is here. He's the chef. He has his like own side arc that combines at the end, and we have this big fish explosion. But there's no way in fuck you're getting around Arnold. There's no way in fuck you're getting around Jesse Ventura. There's no way you're getting around the
my
masterpiece of action schlock cinema that is Predator 1987.
I
So
pooped a little bit just now.
I just wanted to make you a little tense here, because I did like Deep Blue Sea a bit more than I anticipated, but it doesn't hold a fucking candle.
No,
at
not a
all
chance.
to Predator.
Not a chance.
So for me, my choice for first prize film does go to the Predator, and we have a winner.
Hey, first one of the season we agree on.
Woo! It's only episode 2, so
Ugh, I mean, I don't know.
That's true. It's a contentious start for sure. Last week was a little tough.
It's true. It's true. Well, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, me too. But would you recommend anybody to watch Deep Blue Sea?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to make fun of.
It is actually a fun watch. I would recommend watching it with friends. Don't watch it alone. It's like kind of a waste of time that way, but watch it with friends. I think Predator is just a fun watch no matter what, as long as you're there to have fun and be entertained.
I agree 1,000%.
And don't look for continuity because there's no continuity.
Zero. None, and I exploited that a lot in my recap.
Yeah, exactly. It's for both of these movies, it's pretty wild, to be honest. But
it's true.
Yeah, whatever. I gotta work on these pecs, my dude.
Yeah, and I gotta fix my one-liners. Hey, First Prize listeners, thanks for tuning in this week. Thanks for avoiding a creature-based bloody death with us.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed hearing us fighting for our lives, consider subscribing to our socials. It's at First Prize Pod on all platforms, and that includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on TikTok and YouTube as well. Also, don't forget to check out our website. It's firstprizefilms.com.
Yeah, we do this for free because we've dominated our local bodybuilding competitions. But if you'd like to support us anyway, consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, or come hang out on Twitch. We stream every week talking about movies, having some laughs, and chatting with all of you.
It's a great time. You know what else is going to be a good time?
What?
Next week when we start a crime family with a special guest in these mob movies.
Ooh, I'm excited. We're talking about Goodfellas, 1990, versus The Godfather from 1972. It's a real heavyweight competition.
It's a real heavyweight competition, which makes me a really bad Italian because I've never seen either of these movies.
It's true, and that wasn't a fat joke. Goes to Marlon Brando. I promise.
Hopefully we don't get killed by some goons.
But I need my legs.
Do you?
I don't want cement galoshes.
Me either. See ya.
Bye ya. Floating sharp-toothed death. Floating super molecule crocodile death.
Oh God, nope. We're
spiraling out of control.
Going off the rails.